Okay, so in this video, our second Onshape video, we're going to talk about some new techniques, and I'm going to show you how you can put multiple projects or parts of a project in the same file. So we're going to actually go down here, and I'm going to right click where it says Part Studio 1. I'm going to make, actually, sorry, I'm not going to do that. We're going to go over to here, and we're going to click the plus. Okay, to create a part studio. So this is just a place where you can make another project. And so today I'm gonna show you a couple of things. I'm gonna show you some new sketch constraints. I'm gonna show you some new techniques for drawing. Okay, I'm gonna show you how you can make more complex shapes. So we're gonna start with a basic sketch. Just like any Onshape creation, we start by making a sketch. And so we got to choose a sketch plane. So we can do front, right, top. I'm going to click the top, and then remember I press the N key. Press the N key to go perpendicular to the plane or to the sketch. Okay, so it brought us perpendicular there, and now we'll make our sketch. So we're going to draw. Hopefully you've had some fun with these different ones. I'm going to make kind of a funky shape, so we'll do some lines. Okay. I'm going to double click to end the line, and then I'm going to add in maybe a spline. So this is a fancy thing where you can draw like a curvy shape. Okay, oh, it didn't end, so I'm going to go back and double click there to end it. And now from here, if I click again, it's going to start another spline, which I don't want. So the way that I click out of it, if I have it, is an escape key. And now I can actually move these things around. Okay, I can move this thing to change the curve of it. Now, as we're moving stuff around, I'm going to have you notice something. If I try to move this line right here, I can move it up and down, but I can't move it side to side, that dot. And the reason why is because it has a constraint right here that it's vertical to this point right here, that's in the same line, vertical line as that. And the reason it got there is because I clicked there when I was drawing it. And so if something's not moving and you want it to, it could be because it has a constraint. You can actually click on that constraint and press delete to get rid of it. And now I can move it around. You'll notice if I put it here, oops, I lost it. So if I'm moving around, oh, see, now it got constrained to there. I'm going to undo that. Okay, so I can move this around. Still got constrained. There you go. So I've got this piece right here. If I'm not careful when I move it, it might get constrained to like right there or something. Okay. So look, if I move it there, you can see it's going to snap into place again. And now it's going to have that constraint again. So that's something to think about when you're making these shapes. Okay, I can move this to here and it might snap to there, or it might snap to be like, I can click there and have it snap to be vertical from that point. I can make this line like do stuff like that. And then also, let's say you want a line to be horizontal. I can click on it and choose up here the horizontal constraint, and now this line can only be horizontal. It won't be anything else unless I go in and delete that and tell it not to be anymore. So there's some other ones here. So like these two lines, if I want to make them tangent, this one right here, I can click tangent and then click here and there to make those tangent to each other. I can do the same thing right here with these two if I want. Okay, and it's going to interpret it maybe not the way you expected when you try to do that, but so now we have those two, our tangent. I can make lines be parallel, so I can say this line, these two lines should be parallel, and now those lines are parallel. Okay, in addition to the one we already know, the dimensioning tool, okay, to set how far away things are. Okay, now something else we could do is this. Let me try to get rid of everything. So sometimes when you want to get rid of stuff, it's easier just to start the sketch over if it gets too complicated. So I'm going to make a new sketch on the top plane again. So I'm going to make a shape that I can use for to make a solid out of. So we're going to just make something kind of funky. Okay, and actually I'm going to turn this into a rectangle. So I didn't do a very good job drawing this rectangle, so I need to turn it back into a rectangle, which means these two lines should be horizontal and parallel. These two lines should be vertical and parallel, and then this needs to be connected. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to connect 2 points. So I'm going to click, press escape to deselect the line tool. Then I'm going to click here and here to select both of them. I'm going to click this right here called coincident. this constraint is to attach things. Okay, so now I attach those by clicking that constraint. I'll show you again. If I want to attach those two things, I'm going to click the 2 points and click coincident. Okay, now I want to make these lines be vertical, so I'm going to click vertical, and then I can click this one vertical, or I can just say that I want these two to be parallel. Okay, we're almost there. We'll tell these two. The other way you could do it is we could tell these two to be the same size. So we click this to make them equal, and then we'll click it again to make them parallel. Okay, so now we have a rectangle. It's blue, so generally you want to try to dimension everything to make it turn black. So we'll set the width of that to be 45, and then maybe we'll set this distance here, so I could click that or just do like this as 50. Okay, now you'll notice that it's still blue even though I set those dimensions, and the reason why is because I can still move this around. Okay, I haven't constrained it in space, so it can move around, so it needs to be fixed to a point. So I can click that point and click right here and attach it to that point. Okay, so now I've got my rectangle. Next step is going to be to extrude. Okay, so now I have my 3-dimensional shape. Okay, maybe I'll set the height as 70. Okay, and now I'm going to show you where we can get into some of the power of Onshape. So now that I've done that, I can actually make another sketch on a plane. So I can sketch on a plane, or though I can sketch on a face. So I can sketch on a face of this shape. I'll choose that one right there. Okay, now remember, if you choose the wrong one, you can always click the little X here and choose like a different one. If you want a different one, then you can press the N key to go perpendicular. Okay, but I don't want that one. I want this one, so I'm going to press N. And so now I can sketch on this plane right here. So let's make a shape on this plane. Let's just do a circle. Okay, maybe we'll do 2. Okay, and let's dimension them. So let's give them size, let's say 30 for each. Okay, and then I'm going to press escape so I can move them around. I'm going to kind of slide them in a little bit. Okay, so put that one in here, put that one in here. Okay, and now I'm going to set their dimensions from each other. So I'll click D and tell them to be, so you'll notice if I go this way, I can tell them how far apart that way. If you notice, I can go also this way and tell them how far apart to be horizontally. I want to tell them how far apart vertically. Let's say 40. If I want them, that's probably too much. Let's go 30. Let's go 35. So I have a little gap between them. Okay, and now also, if I want these to be in line with each other, this is where I can use that coincident constraint. So I'm going to press escape to deselect. I'm going to click these 2 points right here. I'm going to click coincident. That's not going to work there. So what I can do is this. I can move this around. No, that's not going to work. So if I want these to line up with each other, there's a trick that I can use. So if you're ever having trouble, you can use a tool called a construction line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that's going to go from here and to there. Okay, so I've drawn that line and I want it to be vertical. Oops, deselect. So I'm going to click this line. I'm going to make it vertical by clicking this. And so now these are directly above each other. Okay, but I don't want this to be a real line in my sketch. This is just a tool that I'm using to line those up. So I click right here to turn it into a construction line. And now that line is a tool that I've used to reference these to each other. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do one more dimension. I'll set the distance from here to be 2, and then I'll set the distance from here to there to be 25. Okay, and now we're all constrained. I'm going to finish this sketch by checking it, and I'm going to do some new extrude. So this is the power. I can now extrude these shapes. I'm just going to do this circle here. So I can take this circle and have it be protruding out. And so one thing I'll point your attention to is under this extrude menu, we have new, add, remove, and intersect. If I clicked new, It actually makes a new shape, like a new part. It's a separate piece. We can do add, so it joins that other piece, or we can do remove, so we can actually cut into this piece that we started with. Okay, let's go ahead and remove that one, and then for the next one we'll go ahead and we'll do another extrude. I can click extrude again, and for this one I'm going to choose the other circle. Now you'll notice that other circle disappeared. What happened was the sketch we used, after we used it in an extrude, it vanished. It was this sketch right here, sketch 2. So if we want to use it, I click on the eye here so I can see it, and then I'm going to click on this right here. Okay, and I'll have that one come out, maybe we'll say 15 millimeters. Okay, and so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully that made some sense, and hopefully that gives you some tools to really push your work to the next level.